Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you guys how to connect N8N to Slack. So let's jump right in. Alright, first let's go to api.slack.com/apps. I'll leave a link in the description below. Second, let's create a new app from scratch. We're going to put a name, YouTube. We're going to pick a workspace and we're going to click Create App. Now, there are three things that we need to set up in order to fully connect Slack to N8N, and this can get a little bit complicated, so I'm going to make sure that I cover all three things so that you guys have both OAuth, token, and triggers working with your Slack app. All right, now that we've created the app, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give it all the permissions that we need in order for the app to work, except for one, which we'll have to add later, okay? So go ahead and go to OAuth and permissions, and scroll all the way down to scopes. Now we're looking for bot token scopes. We don't need user token scopes right now because this is going to be essentially a bot that hangs out in the Slack. Okay. We're going to go app mentions read. We're going to add channels history. We're going to add channels read. We're going to add chat write. And we're going to add groups read. Okay. Now this will allow our bot to receive and send messages within the different channels. Okay. There are different scopes here. If you'd like, you can add whatever scopes you might need. Generally speaking, when the API credentials don't work, if you followed my instructions to a T after this, then it's because you haven't added the proper scopes yet, just so you know. That being said, these are the most common scopes that you're going to need. Now, once you're doing that, go ahead and scroll up and click add new redirect URL. And then let's go over to N8N. Let's add a credential and let's type Slack. Now we're going to start with OAuth 2 API. We're going to click continue. We're going to grab the redirect URL and we're going to put it right in there and click add. We're going to save that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to install it to Horizon Development and click allow. And now the app is actually on our server. Now we're going to grab this bot token right here because we're going to need it for another type of credential. We're going to go back over to N8N. Don't worry about this OAuth redirect URL yet. We'll set up that credential afterwards. Let's click add credential and go to Slack API. Continue. And we'll add the access token right there and click save. You can see it was tested successfully. Now let's go back to add the other credential, Slack OAuth 2 API, right? We'll click continue. Now here we have to go back over to basic information. And we're going to grab the client ID right here. And we're going to grab the client secret. And click connect my account. And you can see it's asking for permission. Click allow. And then now it's connected. Now, wait, we're not 100% done yet. There is one more thing I need to show you guys that's really important. So when you guys are doing an event, when you guys are doing a Slack trigger, it's really important to also connect a webhook. Now, in order to do that, we have to go down to the event subscriptions, and we have to enable events, and we have to put the request URL, okay? So we can go over to N8N, and whatever trigger you have, there is a webhook URLs right here. Now this is really important. When you grab this URL and you paste it here, it's going to immediately try to test it. And if it doesn't get a response, it's going to error. Okay. So in order for this to work, if you're using the test URL, you need to click test step and then click retry. And then that'll work. Now, if you're using production, which most of you are, we're going to skip over, click production. We're going to go back here. We're going to paste it in, click change. Obviously, it's not going to work. We're going to go back out and we're going to click active on the workflow. Okay. And then click and verified. You can see that. So now the URL is working. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to give the bot permission to listen to these events. So you can go down to subscribe to bot events, add bot user event, and go app mention. Now this is every time that you mention an app, it will trigger this webhook to go back to N8N. Okay. Now, of course, you guys can add multiple different ones. You can add messages in certain channels and groups, files created. Again, there are a plethora of different permissions here, but these are all the permissions that will have to do with triggers that are going to happen to call your Slack app. The other permissions that I already showed you are all the permissions that are to do with actions that the app will take on the Slack app itself. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this out. So in order to test this out, I'm going to go back to the Slack trigger. I'm going to make sure I have the Slack account enabled. I'm going to grab a channel to watch from the Slack account. I believe it's this one, Slack account 4, the one I just added. Okay, we're going to grab general channel. And then we're going to grab the test URL and click test step. We're going to go back here and we're going to change this to the test URL. Now, why am I doing this? This is for testing purposes to show you guys that this works. Okay. We're going to click save changes. I think we're good to go. Now we go over here in general chat and we're going to go at and then the bot. Now we're going to have to add this to the channel. So let's go ahead and go at YouTube test. Hi. And then it says invite them. And then we're going to do it again. And then we go back over to N8N and you can see that now we have a response of hi. I said hi to the bot. So now we can trigger that workflow, send it to an AI, or do whatever it is that you guys would like. Now, if you guys would like to take this to the next level and hook up AI to your Slack app, I do have a video about how to create an AI chatbot using GPT, N8N, and Pinecone. So be sure to check that out. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And you guys have a wonderful day.